All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the 4th and 17 podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Y'all know the deal. We're here in the playoffs, talking through now the divisional rounds. 4 games slated this week. Hello? How's your week going so far?
It's good, man. Just want these playoffs to come.
It's
Come and start,
crazy.
baby. You know, it's funny. These 4 games are probably featured the 8 best teams in the league right now.
Oh,
It
for
just
sure.
seems like it. So it's good matchups all around. So it's gonna be an exciting day of football.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, these are all juggernauts, and they all have a chance to potentially go to the Super Bowl and even win it. So let's kick things off here. First game, the Rams versus the Packers. Um, one's a great defensive team, and the other one's a great uh, offensive team.
Yep.
Who you got in this matchup, man?
Yeah, you said it best right there. Best offense against best defense, right? Statistically, whatever it is, you got you got the names: Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald. You got the Aarons, then you got Devontae, Jalen Ramsey. So
Yep.
there was like some infographics I've seen like on social media. Jalen Ramsey's been locking up all the number one wide receivers, and then
Oh yeah.
Devontae's been on a whole nother tear. I feel like it's been him and Stephon Diggs on their own tears to get like separately, but that duo, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, we're gonna see what happens. But it's gonna be a dogfight. The main question I have is what Jared Goff is going to show up. Is he healthy? I think I just saw that they declared John Wolford out for the game, so
Correct.
he's not starting. So Jared Goff's going to be there. It's kind of funny that I kind of wanted John Wolford to start. Yeah, like he just adds a unknown, right? But he got hurt last week, so
Sure.
that didn't go for him. But it just said a lot when they benched Jared Goff and had John Wolford start the game. Like if Jared Goff was good enough to play
Sure.
that much, like they should have put it in. Maybe they're trying to save him or whatnot. So it's just that's a situation to monitor for future. But for right now, Jared Goff's the quarterback. I think the Rams secondary is very underrated. You got Jair Alexander, Kevin King, and then Savage playing really well. They're going to match up well with Woods and Cooper Kupp, and especially if Jared Goff can't throw properly with his thumb. So that's going to be really important to see a passing game.
For
On the
sure.
other side, if I'm the Packers defense, man, I'm loading the box and trying to stop Cam Akers and put the game in Jared Goff's hands. I think they will try to do that, but that's easier said than done. We saw, what this Kyle Shanahan scheme does to the Packers, even though they run it themselves last year in the playoffs with the 49ers, McVay's from that tree. So we'll see if they can kind of replicate that, but they might be able to, but because the Packers run defense is a liability if you're looking at their team. But I think they will try to add another player in the box and just stop Cam Akers and put it on Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And, on the other side, we're talking about that offense versus the Packers offense, Rams defense. That's going to be interesting to see. I'm interested to see who steps up on the Packers side. Is it going to be Aaron Jones? Is it going to be Tanyan, right? What's MVS or Lazard? Like someone's going to have to step up
Someone's
for
gonna have to
them
step up. Yeah, absolutely.
because I feel like Devontae, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to test Jalen Ramsey that much, and you shouldn't. Jalen Ramsey is a baller, but Aaron Rodgers is kind of cocky too, so he might throw a couple. Might have a couple shots at Devontae, but on the other, like just main thing for the Packers is to find someone else to kind of step up and make a big play. Uh, I'm expecting Aaron Rodgers to have a typical Aaron Rodgers game, or not typical, but a pretty good game, just because he's been on a tear MVP level. But yeah,
So
I'll let you give your take, and then we'll give predictions right after
okay.
you say your piece.
Yeah, no. So I mean, exactly what you said, right? First, starting off with Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey has shut down, I think, every major wide receiver this season. Um, whether it's DK Metcalf, whether it's Hopkins. I mean, it was Amari Cooper. I mean, he's had a hell of a run this season, and we all know. I mean, that's one of the reasons why the Rams made that big acquisition. Um, was to bolster that defense, that secondary, and they've done a phenomenal job with that. Um, it works and sometimes it doesn't, but for them, it's definitely worked out. Jalen Ramsey is probably the top corner in the league.
Oh yeah,
Um, and he's proving you why, right? Um, now on the opposite side, you talked about it, right? It's who's going to show for the Packers with Devontae Adams probably going to be covered by Jalen Ramsey. Who's going to step up? But at the same time, it's can they get Aaron Rodgers time, right? We saw and again, early in the season, we saw what happened when the Packers played the Buccaneers. He he didn't look that good. I think that was the worst game he had all season. This Rams defense is pretty damn good up front. Aaron Donald's expected to suit up and play, and they're going to be pressuring Aaron Rodgers all game. So the question is that who can get open, and can Aaron Rodgers have the time up front to make the passes, right? Um, I think they're going to be relying on the run game. Again, like you said, with Devontae Adams being covered by Jalen Ramsey, I think they're going to have to resort to a run game. So because of that, I think that since they're being taken out of their typical game, so to speak, their game plan, I'm going with the Rams in this, man. I'm seeing a little bit of an upset here, dude.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
LA boy, man. You want the LA team, get another championship. I see what you're doing. You ain't sly. But no, I definitely see what you're saying. Like, right, we didn't expect the Rams to beat the Seahawks, right? I mean, I'm not gonna compare the Seahawks and the Packers with both their offenses, but we didn't expect the Rams. There's always that one team that comes out of nowhere and does some weird shit in the playoffs. And the Rams and the Browns, both fit that mold. But
Right. Right.
the Rams quarterback, I don't know. I just don't trust him. It's really hard for me to trust Jared Goff, even when it seems like McVay doesn't trust him. So
Sure.
with that, combining that, I'm expecting the Packers to put a better, defensive game plan and stop Cam Akers, and then they have the personnel to stop the passing game. I think McVay will, create some good plays and easy looks for Jared Goff, but at the end of the day, I trust Aaron Rodgers back there to get the win. It's going to be a close game. I'm expecting like 24-20, like, one possession game that's going to come down to the end of the game. But I like the Packers to squeak out a close one here.
All right. All right. That's cool. All right. So let's move on. We got, again, a huge slate of football games this weekend. Um, the Ravens versus the Bills. Another huge matchup. Again, great offense, high octane offense from the Buffalo Bills. Awesome defense from the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, we're seeing a trend here, right? Good defense, good offense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what happens
dude.
when you make the
I
playoffs.
know, no, but I'm saying like these are juggernauts, right? I mean, these are juggernauts in terms of like when you think of the Baltimore Ravens, their offense, but their defense is strong, baby. Um, you want to kick things off with this one?
Yeah, man. So I'm picking the Ravens in this one. Not even, just put that out there. I think it's going to be snowy weather, so I don't know how well Josh Allen's going to be able to throw it, and how on top of that, the other thing is not just the weather. Baltimore Ravens defense matches up very well with the Buffalo Bills. The fact that Buffalo Bills cannot run the ball, we even saw last week Tennessee Titans who like to run the ball. They couldn't do shit against the Ravens defensive
Sure,
line.
sure,
Then you have Baltimore, probably top three secondary, I think, right now. Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, they can match up with Diggs, John Brown, Cole Beasley. So the fact that they can play man to man, and I think Marlon Humphrey should be able to slow down Stephon Diggs a little bit
sure,
just this year. So it's going to be on Josh Allen. Baltimore front four, not that great, but you still have Calais Campbell. You have Yannick Ngakwe. Yannick Ngakwe has been playing pretty well ever since they traded for him. So he's going to have a big game because you need to stop Josh Allen. You can't let him improvise and get out of the pocket. And if you do, it's going to be he's one of the best right now. He's in
sure,
his zone. He's on fire. So I think Baltimore should be able to slow him down. And we saw the Colts have some success against the Bills too and slow them down. Pittsburgh, when they played, Pittsburgh did slow them down early in the game. So if they'll be able to take some game plan stuff from them and put that together, I think what's his name, Wink Martindale, the defense coordinator for the Ravens, is really good at coming up with schemes and disguising against Josh Allen. Uh, let's see. I like that matchup. I kind of think. I mean, Bills have been on a tear. They fucked up the Dolphins. They've been on a tear. So not to take anything away from them, I just feel like this is a tougher matchup for them, and it's in the
sure.
playoffs. It's the weather included. On the other side, Lamar Jackson, I think, that run game, that whatever he was able, his improvising. I'm not.
Improvisation.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Insert word. Uh, insert word. But yeah, his skills kind of won that game for them against the Titans. So nothing that was special. His running abilities, passing game, they didn't do anything special, but Bills, they'll probably have a good game plan to, contain Lamar Jackson. We saw that last year when they played each other. They did a pretty good job, but I don't know. I feel like he's going to be able to pass it to Hollywood Brown a little bit more. I think Hollywood Brown had a pretty good game last week, and then J.K. Dobbins. Bills defense is not the best.
Mhm.
They're kind of, I think, middle of the tier, but they can get
It's a
stops.
mid-tier. Yeah, it's a mid-tier defense.
But they're very game plan specific. They'll come up with some good things, but I think the run game they'll probably put all their eggs in that basket. But J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and then Lamar Jackson, that three-headed attack. I think they'll be able to get enough done, and then Lamar's going to make a couple plays with his passing, with his arm in the passing game to get them to a win. But this is going to be a dogfight, man. In that weather, these two teams, physical teams, feels like they're both that bully type. We've seen the Bills bullying people. Ravens, they got that mentality, that dog mentality coming from John Harbaugh. So these two blue collar teams dogfight. I'm expecting the Ravens come out on a Justin Tucker field goal, baby.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So look, this is definitely going to be a close game. I think primarily the biggest thing is going to be weather, right? Weather's going to be a huge factor in this. Now, the biggest thing for me in terms of why I'm taking Buffalo is two reasons, right? A, they're the home team. And what I mean by that is the weather conditions. Like you said, right? It's potential of snow this weekend. Buffalo, this is an atmosphere, right? This is what they practice in. This is what they have to go to work in. So they're accustomed to that. Lamar Jackson literally came out this week and basically said, I hope it doesn't snow. I hope it doesn't snow. The guy can barely throw as it is. Then you want to include snow? Come on. Hey, brother, listen here. All right.
So
No, I'm just saying. These are facts. Okay. Now, I do get it. He's a very elusive runner, right? And again, typically when you have harsh conditions in terms of weather, that typically means the run game is accelerated, right? Higher volume. But I do feel like, again, someone like Lamar Jackson who hasn't played in snow, he's typically not accustomed to the run and the feel of that type of substance on the ground, right? I mean, that's just, again, that's my meteorology report, right?
You're so stupid.
So, look, ultimately I'm going based on that, right? The other thing is that I do like the Ravens defense. And again, in the previous game, the reason why I'm taking the Rams is purely because of their defense. But in this game, I do have so much faith in Josh Allen. I'm riding this Josh Allen train as far as it takes me, and I can't turn on it right now. I do like the Ravens. Like you said, their defense I think they're the second best defense in the league behind the Rams. And like you said, they stopped King Henry last week. But this is a different team. They really don't rely on that run game as heavy, right? And that's where I think where the difference is, where the Titans needed the run game in order for them to operate in the air. This team fully operates in the air. So I am expecting a really big game from the Buffalo Bills. Again, it's going to be close just due to weather, but I see the Buffalo Bills winning this by about 10 points.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
As a fan, like I want the Bills, I want that. We haven't seen the Bills against the Chiefs, ever since early in the year. So like that matchup just, speaks explosive football, and see who's actually better right now. Cause I mean, Mahomes, he's still Mahomes, right? He has that title of being the top, but then Allen's coming in hot. Like he's coming in. So, but I don't know. I just feel like the Ravens, they're in a groove right now too. I mean, they've won. It feels like, I mean, for the past 6 weeks, ever since like that COVID scare, they've had to win every game, and they've been, that pressure's been on their back, and they've been doing really good. So teams may have not been the best, but they've been putting together those wins, and I think their defense is playing well. They're getting healthy. It's gonna be a tough matchup
for sure.
I can see it going the way you said, but not that by that much, man. I think that you're describing the Ravens offense a little bit too.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Look, this is just a simple yes or no question. Josh Allen is up for an extension this year. Do you think he is worth more than Patrick Mahomes to the Buffalo Bills? Do you think they'll pay him $500 bajillion, $500 million? I think it was half a billion.
You haven't won a Super Bowl with him.
Okay. All right.
That's won an MVP.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm asking. I want to see what that's. So you don't think he's going to get the $500 million deal?
He'll get like what close to what Deshaun Watson got. I think a little bit more than that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think.
All right. Yeah. So let's move on here, guys. Man, this week football is going to be really, really good. All right. Next game. All right. When you look at this on paper, prior to what we've seen towards the end of the season, if you had told me, hey, in the playoffs, you're going to see the Cleveland Browns playing the Chiefs, you would have been like, oh, easy, no brainer, Chiefs. But the Browns are actually playing pretty damn good football. The Browns versus the Chiefs. I think this is going to be a fun matchup to see. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a close game as people are typically anticipating, but I think the
Mhm.
Browns might put up a dogfight. Um, but I'm still taking the Chiefs in this game, man. I can't discredit Patrick Mahomes. He's typical. I mean, he's on like a 2 week break if you think about it. I mean, he's been kind of rested, man. Like he's. I
His
mean, I
arm
think
is good.
he's good,
Yeah.
baby. Now the only thing I do see this is with such a huge amount of gap, there could be some rust at the beginning of the first quarter. So don't be
Yeah.
surprised to see if the Chiefs are down. But the Chiefs are the type of team. They get to the second half or even the second quarter, they're down. Boom, they turned it on. It's like what happened to them last year against the Texans, right? They're down. They get they sit down, change up their game plan, figure things out, right?
Yeah.
Travis Kelce goes up to Sammy Watkins, says, "Yo, pick up your head," right? And I think they
Mhm.
scored what 48 unanswered.
Some
So
shit like it's ridiculous.
yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm taking the Chiefs in this game, only because you have to prove me wrong. The Chiefs have to go out there and prove me wrong, and the Chiefs haven't. Yeah, they've had 2 losses, which are gimme losses, whatever. But I'm taking the Chiefs. I mean, I like the Browns. I think they're getting a little bit healthier. Their corners are back this week, right? But I'm still taking the Chiefs in this game.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the Chiefs too, man. You'd be crazy to choose fucking Baker Mayfield for Patrick Mahomes right now. But one thing, you hit it on its head. The rust, 2 weeks. We usually see when divisional teams or the team that gets the bye week, they come in. They're usually rusty. They didn't play that last week, right before, and they didn't play last or week 17. They didn't play, and they didn't play last week. So that's basically 3 weeks, of off, but 2 weeks of games. But yeah, that's ridiculous. We'll see. It usually never goes well, but the Chiefs, they haven't been known for having a hot start anyway, right? Usually
For
they
sure.
fucking stinkers, and then when it's serious, when they're down and they need to turn it on, like you said, it's that switch. It's like the Warriors, right? When they flip that switch on a comeback, bam, they just come. And it's the most explosive offense we have in the NFL, just because you have Mahomes and Tyreek Hill that just kind of takes it over the top. But the other thing, like you said, also is we got to see if the Chiefs are going to take the Browns seriously, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's another big thing. Usually, when the Chiefs come in these games and like fuck around, with the Raiders that one game when they lost, like they shouldn't have. It was a blowout, and then they got down early and they couldn't come back. They need to be wary of that situation. And Cleveland, their defense is not the best, but they could probably they can get some stops from here from at some points.
For
The
sure.
defense coordinator Joe Woods, he was on the 49ers last year, so he'll have some film to see from there what he did. Obviously not the same talent, but they can think of some things to make life trouble for Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, like you said, man, a lot has to go wrong for us to even consider taking the Browns.
Exactly.
And even then we're not taking the Browns. We're still choosing the Chiefs because they're in the trust tree, man. You know they're gonna come through until they don't, right? They've done it consistently,
Exactly.
time and time again. How many comebacks has Patrick Mahomes led? How many times has Andy Reid gotten his team to come back and just win a game? And
Well, and that's the other thing, right? I mean, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is one thing, right? But this defense has been good. And the personnel around that they have around Mahomes, right? I mean, it's just you have Tyreek Hill, right? Travis Kelce has been consistent. I mean, I think he's the number one tight end in the league. I mean, I think in terms of reception yards, I think he was only behind Stephon Diggs, which is
oh,
incredible,
baller, yeah.
right? I mean, they have tremendous support. I mean, this is a really well built team.
Oh yeah. It's funny. Like I was like on Twitter and like there's just like how the fuck did the Chiefs re-sign all these players and they're like that much money over the cap? Like it was just like ridiculous. Like I don't know how they did it, but they figured it out. They
They
figured
did,
out the
yeah,
the way to do it because their team, if you look at most positions, it's stacked. Offense line is probably their worst position, but they still got some stalwarts there and
right,
some good players there. And then you got Patrick Mahomes who cancels all
exactly,
that out. So
exactly,
in
yeah. So
defense, like you said, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Honey Badger, fucking baller. So they got players there. They can get some stops. But
yeah,
yeah, man, Chiefs are gonna win this one.
yeah, and I think ultimately, if you're out there and you're looking at what the Browns did last week to the Steelers, just know this: the Steelers late in the season were not the same Steelers that we saw at the beginning of the year. And secondly, that Steelers team they just weren't that good. I mean, their run game was
Oh,
atrocious. There are a lot of
oh,
injuries on the defensive side. Go
or
ahead.
maybe they were the same team all year and they just got lucky.
Well, and that's true too, right? But
Yeah,
ultimately, what I'm saying is that yeah, they beat the Steelers team, but that Steelers team, they were not as good as people thought, as well as they weren't even as good
yeah,
as their record had shown. So don't get that twisted. The Chiefs are still the fucking Chiefs. Super Bowl winners from last year, and I don't think they've missed a step. So exciting game with that. So all right, so let's move on here. We have one last game of the week. Again, another doozy. The
doozy.
Buccaneers versus the Saints, man.
This is the best game of the weekend, baby.
You know what? I think they're all going to be pretty close games,
No,
relatively.
yeah, yeah. That's why I
But
said eight best teams, good matchups.
but I like this, man. I think they should rename this game to the AARP game, right? Because both these players need to retire. But man, they're playing like
Brady? Brady?
I know. He's proven everybody wrong. But
What
man,
the
like,
hell?
yeah, how old is Brady now? 43? Is he
Yeah,
43?
he's about your age, right? 43.
Let's move on here. Man, this guy think he's a comedian all of a sudden. Put a mic in front of
Uh,
his face, man. Become a comedian overnight.
don't
All
don't
right.
ever ask me any questions about age. You know where that's going.
All right. So here we are. So Buccaneers Saints. They both played each other twice. Same division. They played each other twice. I think the Saints won their matchup both times. Right. Um, this is uh, this is going to be a hell of a game, man. I'll let you kick things off. Who do you think is going to win this matchup? Do you think it's going to be an exact repeat of what we saw in the regular season, or do you think the Buccaneers are in true playoff form?
No, yeah. Second, what you said, ladder right there. Buccaneers. I think they're going to take this game. Whatever happened in the first two games. I don't even count the week one, but the last game, I don't really count that game.
38-3, though. There's
No,
no
I know,
excuse.
but the Buccaneers philosophy has completely shifted. They've in that game that was Antonio Brown's first game. They got this
Sure.
new shiny weapon. They're like, all right, we're gonna fucking put out these three fucking wide receivers, Gronk, Brady in the back, to start throwing the ball, throwing the ball, throwing the ball. That didn't work. They got their fucking ass kicked, right? What did you say? 38-3, 30-3, whatever it was.
38-3, yeah.
That's called an ass whooping. Yeah, they got their ass kicked and it didn't look good. And then ever since that game, they've slowly shifted their mentality to go two tight end sets, you know, run, run first, pass second, and then keep an extra person in the line to help Brady have some time to throw the ball. So they've kind of gone maybe six offensive linemen against defense. So Brady's had a lot of time to throw, and that's why he's been looking really good. And Buck's offensive line has kind of come into their own and been playing well. But the Saints defense is probably the best in the or second best in the NFC with the Rams. They're right up there. Their front four is really good. Um, so it's going to be a tough matchup, right? That's going to be interesting to see because I don't see the Buccaneers being able to run the ball as well because Saints run defense is really, really good. Cam Jordan there, you got Davenport, Hendrickson, right? All these people, Animata, like really good. So it's going to be interesting to see. But the way Brady's been looking and the offense, how they've kind of figured something out, I trust them more than I do the Saints right now. Saints offense, I think Drew Brees at least. I mean, Buccaneers defense is not the same as it was in the beginning of the year,
Sure, sure.
but I think they're still solid. They can, their front four is still really good. I think you have questions on the secondary mostly, and if they're able to play man to man. But what people, I mean, I I hope they kind of take Alvin Kamara away and then make it more on Drew Brees and then the passing game, which I can see happen because they have two really good linebackers in Devin White and Levante David. So you can see them kind of staying on Alvin Kamara. But Alvin Kamara is a great player. He's always going to get his. And then you put the game on Drew Brees.
Sure.
So I think the Buccaneers will have a good game plan to stop them. Last time it was just really automatic of whatever Saints wanted, they got. So I hope
Yeah.
they learned from that. And I'm just expecting Bucks offense to put up a better fight because you put the defense in a really bad position last game or whenever they played, and defense can't be on the field that long.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and
so
look,
yeah, go ahead, go
so
ahead.
so you're taking the Bucks is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close. I mean, all these games are gonna be close, man.
Sure.
So besides the Chiefs Browns maybe, but that could be close too, depending on how
Right.
the Chiefs come out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm expecting the Bucks to come out in this one, and I don't know, man. It seems like the Saints always get screwed over, right? We always saying it these past, ever since that first one, the second one, and then now the third one they got, last year. So this year, I mean, something's gonna happen. It's bound to happen, and we'll see. So I saw this on Twitter or something. It was like it's the it's like the whatever year anniversary of the Tuck rule, the you know the Raiders Patriots game. So I was just like, man, that's just like kind of brings up something's funky's gonna happen in this game. It usually does, something
Yeah.
usually happens in one of these games, but knowing
Well,
the Saints look, I'm gonna say something's gonna happen there, and it's gonna
so
go in the Bucks' favor. Go ahead.
here's kind of where I'm landing on this. You know, the more and more so the more I was initially thinking the Bucks for exactly some of the reasons that you were talking about, right? Buccaneers are looking in full kind of playoff form. Um, their defense has been again a little bit inconsistent towards the tail end of the year, but again, just doing what they need to do to get the W. Um, I mean, I'm looking back, right, at the wild card events that we saw unfold, right? The Buccaneers barely got by. I mean, it was an 8 point game, right, so to speak.
Watch, that's a tough game. I
I
think
know, I know,
Saints
I
would
know, I
have.
know, I know, I know, I know. But I'm just thinking out loud here. The Saints handled their business with the Bears, right? I mean, I'm looking at like, are the Buccaneers at full health? First of all, right? I think Mike Evans he played, but he's still kind of coming off what is a he's had consistent issues with his leg, right? Um, I think Ronald Jones has been kind of in and out. I think Fournette's been kind of the primary ball carrier in the playoffs so far. Um, again, I mean, both teams are they have their own injuries in their own rights. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of a toss-up game, right? Because it's not just a playoff game. This is a rivalry game against two divisional teams, right? They're from the NFC, right? NFC South. I mean, there's a bit. I think this is not just like a playoff thing. This is like a year thing, right? This has kind of been developing over the entire year. Um, I I wanted to take the Bucks. I really did. I don't know.
Still,
This
you
is
still
hard.
can.
I know. I know. I mean, look. I like the Saints, man. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, I think the Saints might win this game. I really do. I mean, the Saints they're playing at home. Um, Alvin Kamara has been pretty much unstoppable. Um, I like, yeah. You know what? I'm going to switch it. I'm taking the Saints. I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints. I had the Buccaneers going to the Super Bowl. But I'm switching this. I like the Saints, man. I do, like I said. I mean, the Saints are a top ranked defense in the league. And they are. I mean, as much as we've been talking about the Buccaneers over the course of the year, the Saints have quietly put up a really good defensive team. And numbers look good. So I'm actually going to take the Saints. I think their defense is, again, top 5 defense in the league so far. Offense, little suspect, right? I mean, I think we can all agree.
Mhm.
But again, Drew Brees, for some reason, I feel like in the playoffs, he just does something a little special. Alvin Kamara, again, he's
That's
been,
why.
yeah, dude, come on, man. Give the guy a little credit, dude. He old as shit, and he's doing what he's doing, bro. Alvin Kamara, man, as long as you got Alvin Kamara back there, dude, he's going to give you at least 100 something. You know what I mean? Plus receiving yards. I mean, that boy is something different, man. I'm changing my tune. I'm taking the Saints, dude.
So does that change your Super Bowl pick too? What's your Super Bowl?
Yeah, I did have the Bucks. I don't know. Let's see what happens with between the Green Bay Packers, man. I mean, what that we basically fucked that shit up from last week, by the way. I mean, I think we talked about it in our recap, man. But we
You're
are
horrible.
our predictions are absolutely abysmal. Who do I
Yeah.
think going to the? You know what? I mean, if I was gonna redo it now,
Just
fuck it.
based on your
Fuck it.
tune.
I'm doing it. I'm taking the Rams. The Rams are going to the Super Bowl, man. I'm calling it right
Uh,
now. Fuck it.
that's,
Yep. I know.
that's gonna be a blowout Super Bowl if that is. Oh
We'll
my
see.
god,
I know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um,
man.
hey, I'm all about the underdogs in this, man. I respect my underdogs. But I am, like I said, I'm taking the Saints. Again, I think it's purely because their defense. Again, I mean, I think we underrate their defense, dude. I really do. I mean, as much as we talk about the Rams and the Ravens, we don't give as much credit to the Saints.
Oh, I
Um,
just did. What do you mean?
Yeah, but come on, dude. Like the way you were talking about the Ravens. Oh yeah, come on, dude. Like we don't
Ravens
really
have good. I said the
we don't give.
matchup works out. No, I
Yeah,
said it's gonna be tough.
no, I know, but I'm just saying like the Saints have shown us twice this year against the same team that their
I don't count the
defense.
first one. I don't, like I said,
Well,
it was a
right.
lot.
You don't count the
Context
first
matters.
one. You don't. Yeah,
Context
I know.
matters.
I understand. You don't count the first one, but the second one was a blowout. The first one was close. I think they only lost by like 10 points. The second one was a blowout.
Context. It was Antonio Brown's first game. They wanted to
I
show
don't.
off.
I don't care. his first
You
game,
know,
last game, I don't give a shit, dude. It's a football game. You go out there to win the game.
that's the fanboy in you. You know, come on, man.
Hey, I'm
That's
sorry
the
again.
that's the Eagles fan in you.
Hey. We're not the Eagles not in the playoffs. We're not talking about no Eagles. We're not talking about no Niners, bro. This
I
is
got it. Oh, we don't talk about what's up with the Niners. Deshaun Watson. Let's go.
oh man, here we go. So yeah, so that's who I'm taking. Again, I think the biggest question mark for the Saints is how involved is Michael Thomas going to be in this offense? But I think that's it. I mean, if they can figure that out, if he can get open and he can have a monstrous game, I think this game is going to. I mean, this is going to be
Don't
Saints
say it.
victory. Yeah, this is gonna be
Yeah.
hey victory formation. That's victory formation on 3. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be one of those, bro. It's gonna be over, bro. It's gonna be over, man.
That's
Oh
funny.
man,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it'd
good.
be over, bro. So
We just got
that's
our
what I'm
thumbnail.
taking.
We just got our thumbnail.
That's what I'm taking. That's what. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm taking.
Oh
So,
shit.
all right, man. So, hey, man, dude, that's crazy, dude. Only 4 games to talk about this week. Oh man, damn,
That was it.
that was it, man. So, y'all know what to do. Like, follow, subscribe. Um, again, we're gonna keep coming with more content. We'll be discussing the recap of the divisional round next week. Seeing how good our predictions were. But again, I think our time is slowly winding down for the playoffs and the season. And then again, follow us on YouTube, on the Twitter,
Yes,
on
sir.
Instagram. Um, it's the 4th and 17 podcast.
We out. Peace.